Good morning, YouTube. The stuff is hitting the fan.
Oh, yes, I like
Big
how you said
time when it comes to used car prices. The crashes, especially on the exotic and luxury stuff, it is crashing way back down to reality.
Well, I feel like that was the only good thing about COVID, which I hate even bringing it up, but the prices for used cars were just out of this world. And so if you had a used car, you could sell it and make so much money.
But then you had to buy one. You had to go buy something,
Okay,
and they didn't
fine.
have any cars available. It was a terrible
I
thing.
was trying to find the silver lining.
There's
and
no
you burst
silver
it.
lining. But in the world of exotics and collector cars, but I'm mostly focusing on like slightly used exotics and other interesting, luxury cars.
Right.
People got used to not having much depreciation. And now they're trying to auction them off online on Cars and Bids and Bring a Trailer, but they still think that they can get the 2021, 2022 prices, and they're just not ready to cut bait yet. So it's very weird. You're seeing a lot of cars that just aren't selling.
Do you find with all these online auctions that it's made it easier for guys to or people to sort of gamble, like the stock market with cars and the values, and that's kind of changing the market?
What's weird is I'm the high bidder on a car about every week,
Yeah.
maybe twice a week, and it's never somebody that wants to cut it loose for that number. It
Right.
never meets reserve. So at some point the dam has to burst, and people
Right.
are like, I have to get rid of these cars now. But right now it's just people, I'm tired of the car, I want to get rid of it, but I'm not going to lose a bunch of money. So
Right.
if it doesn't bring, I'm just going to hang on to it. But I'm bored with the car. So I have a list of interesting vehicles. The first one, Cars and Bids, the DBS Coupe here. James Bond edition, 6-speed manual,
Well, you do
25,000 miles.
Mention Aston Martin just doesn't really hold value
No,
in general, right?
terrible. But this is supposed to be one of the exceptions because it is that crazy cool Casino Royale car.
Right.
Manual transmission V12, one of the last Aston Martins to come like this. Freddie has one. It was appraised with more miles back in the crazy days at
Right.
130, and they thought maybe 160, 180 down the line. Well, this one, arguably a nicer car, lower mileage, it bid to $97,000, didn't meet reserve.
Oh my god.
Compared to
Right.
130 probably just a few years ago. So didn't meet reserve. They didn't want to cut it loose. I think they want 120 for it, which isn't going to happen. I wanted this car, and
Yeah. Wait,
No,
did
that
you
won't-
bid on it?
I missed the last minute of bidding, but
Okay.
I
Because
wasn't.
that's
I
the
knew.
sweet spot where you want to get in. That's where everyone kind of throws it up.
Right. Same with people in their Land Rover Defenders. The new Defender was coming back, and they thought, yeah, this is awesome. And they were selling for over MSRP or very close. Well, now you can see that that party's over. Bid to $37,750 on this Defender 110S with 51,000 miles.
Well, now
and they
there's
didn't let it go.
all the other cars like the Sonata and tons of them that are going that boxy look where do you need the Defender to have that look anymore? You don't. You don't need to spend the price tag.
Right. The Rivian was another darling over MSRP and all that jazz. Now this one bid to $50,000. Not sold.
Whew.
18,000 miles.
That is rough. That is rough.
It is rough
Yeah.
in comparison to the last couple of years, but that seems normal because this was probably a mid-60s, $70,000 MSRP. I wonder if the sticker's here. Sticker price, $78,000. So
Yikes.
it's going on 3 years old. That's a normal depreciation curve for a luxury pickup truck in the before times. But now we're just like, oh, look at that depreciation. But it's normal.
Do you think with the depreciation with electric cars is a little higher?
Yes, it can be because they're more expensive, and then the used market there's a big gap of what the secondary market is willing to pay versus the people that want the newest thing,
Right.
and they're too expensive new. And I think dealers will eventually figure it out how to incentivize at lower prices, all that stuff. They're already doing it in Tesla and such. The people that bought a couple of years ago at the crazy inflated prices are really feeling it now. But this is probably the worst one of the bunch on Cars and Bids.
Beautiful.
2022 Rolls-Royce Ghost, which they did a yellow interior on it. Starlight headliner.
So good.
Yeah, 70 miles on it, and
That's
it bid to $176,500 and didn't sell.
Or what if they knew,
70
like
miles.
500,000 new?
Yeah, brace yourself. It's right here. Sticker price was $479,000. Now this is in
gosh.
Canada, but still
And there's 70 miles on it.
70 miles.
I feel bad, really bad for whoever bought that car. They are just dying right now.
Yeah, but it was about the world's worst spec for a Ghost, in my opinion. Doing a checker cab yellow interior with the boring gray. Very odd. Very odd. So now the sell-through rate is pretty high on normal cars and certain exotics that are very much in demand. Countach is still going crazy and stuff like that. But I'm moving on to bring a trailer now because we're continuing to see the Ford GTs that you talked
Right.
about last week. New lows for them. So this one, 10 kilometers on it. A Canadian car. He was selling it with his 0506,
Ooh.
but bought it, never drove it. He could have sold it for over $1 million after that waiting period.
Right.
And he didn't, and now bid to $786,000 and it didn't sell. The original MSRP still is $693,000. So it was bid almost $100,000
Right.
over, but compared to what he could have gotten,
Right.
or she, I suppose it could be a female Ford GT
Yeah.
owner.
I mean, but that's every guy back in the 60s and 70s. If I still held on to that Chevelle or Mustang, it'd be worth, $100,000 now. And that's what they're thinking with this truck.
But they didn't drive it. They timed it wrong,
Right.
and it cost them $200,000-300,000.
Right. I mean,
So-
that kind of bubble with these was going up and up and up. And so I could see someone just holding out hope maybe they'll go to 1.5 million. And obviously that didn't happen. Don't even start
I just
with
wanted
me. Don't even.
no, I just wanted to show it
peeked
to
at
you.
it.
I just
saw
thought
it.
I wanted you to see it. 26-mile GNX, 26 miles, sold
What
for
number?
$220,000. It did sell. It met reserve and sold. So I just thought I'd show it to you just to
What
cheer you
number
up.
was it? Does it say?
450 of 547 on the GNXs.
Beautiful girl.
So pretty strong market on those.
Of course it is.
Bentleys, used Bentleys. Ouch. It is a bloodbath right now.
Right.
So 2014 Bentley Continental GTC V8S, $47,500 bid to and didn't sell. Now it does have some miles on it, but that is really cheap for a 2014, a newer body style Bentley convertible.
That's crazy. What do you think the reserve would have been? Like something like that.
I don't know, just a couple of years ago, that would have been $100,000.
Right.
So that is a big, big drop back down to reality. But then the Cullinan is another one, which is a crazy, crazy drop. So this one didn't meet reserve at $303,000, 2,500 miles. And its new sticker was $433,000. So
Whoa.
2 years, they lost $130,000. Oh, they didn't sell it for that, though. That's the thing. Normal depreciation. This is 25% depreciation in 2 years.
Right.
Pretty normal for a luxury car. Just a lot because the MSRP is so high. But no, they're not taking it. Which
Right.
just cut bait. Come on.
I mean, if you put a reserve on it, that's the whole point. It's a safety net for you to have, just in case it sells for next to nothing.
A few years ago, this would have been over MSRP, but it's not anymore. Not no mo.
No.
But a Spirit of Ecstasy statue that's just
or-
like 6 foot tall.
As you would call the flying woman.
The Flying Woman sold for $63,000. So, yeah, so a big sculpture. It's huge, 63 inches tall, 36
That's
inches
amazing.
wide. So,
Totally worth it.
yeah, but
great.
the worst one, I feel like, and the dumbest one, is the Urus. And
Yeah.
everybody saw this coming from a mile away.
Yeah.
People paying $50,000, $100,000 over for a Urus. And no, the last 4 to sell on Bring a Trailer actually didn't sell. They were bid to and didn't meet reserve. The most recent one bid to $185,000 and it didn't meet reserve, which I don't understand because it has 21,000 miles. This is a 4-year-old car now. Its MSRP was $248. So yeah, you're losing a third in depreciation for a 3 going on 4-year-old vehicle with 20,000 miles. That should be considered normal. That should be like, yeah, that's how much you're going to lose owning a Lamborghini SUV that a smart person would just go buy an SQ8 and have the same thing.
Right.
Just not with a Lambo badge, basically.
I think they're cool. I like that they did that. They ventured off. They took a chance. It obviously didn't work.
But the people that were paying $50,000, $100,000 over MSRP are just crazy. And to a smaller scale, the Kia Telluride, the Hyundai Palisade,
fun
the
set.
people paying so much over for a RAV4 hybrid that you can get, like, it is really, really bad right now. How many people are upside down on these cars and cannot sell them? At this point, they can still afford to make the payments, but when things get a little bit tighter, when
Right.
people actually need to sell, that's when things will get really, really bad. So we'll see what happens, I suppose.
Upside down in a car is the worst. And you were a car dealer, and you knew sometimes when people would walk out the door and be upside down instantly.
When they drove off, yes. Or when they pulled up in a car, when they pulled up in a Kia, in a Hyundai, in a Nissan, and wanted a trade bid, you knew it was hopeless. This was before all the craziness in COVID with all the prices and supply chain issues. And it's sort of bad because you're sort of profiling, but yeah, you want to get out of your Kia Soul for an obvious reason, and you're $10,000 upside down. So no, I can't sell you a Chevy pickup
What
truck.
was like the coolest, not the coolest, but like you knew you had this person when they rolled up in a certain type of car? Like you could really get them.
Someone rolled up in an '84 Corvette, first year C4,
Right.
and they wanted to look at a C5 Z06, red C4, red Z06.
Right.
And he wanted, I can't remember the number, like $14,000 for his C4.
Right.
And the bid was 10. And he was very incensed that the bid was $10,000. And he liked the price on the C5 Z06. So I said, well, let's just go look at the C4. Let's check it out.
Right.
And then I realized that 1 year or few year only digital gauge readout thing didn't work.
Oh, no, it's the worst.
And
Yeah.
I said, I don't think my used car manager caught this.
Right.
Did you know it didn't work? He's like, well, yeah.
Oh gosh.
So you want 14 grand, which at the time the internet wasn't very good. This is in 2007 where you knew you could like send it off to a rebuilder or whatever, advertising on eBay to fix instrument clusters. So he didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And we talked about it like, nobody's going to buy this thing from you like retail
Of course.
with the tachometer not working. So you should probably take the 10 grand. And he did. That's when I knew I had him, just sitting in the car and just looking at it.
Well, you're flashing a Z06 C5 in front of him. Of course, he's going to be drooling all over that.
He was a very happy camper. I think I made $700 that day.
Okay, good. Did you buy another TV?
In the olden times, yes. So, way back in 2007. And you were supermodeling, and I was a used car salesman.
Stop it.
Anyway, thank you so much for watching.
Used car salesmen are hot.
Not this one.